What is up, everyone? Welcome to another Owl House reaction video. You've probably noticed I'm not in my main room. I am in a hotel right now. I'm on vacation, and it's a vacation for my birthday. Today is my birthday! Yeah! Whew, it's June 19th. This is a Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared shirt. And I watched the Owl House episode since I can watch it on iPad with Disney Now. And I'll be talking about it. There won't be any edits since I don't have my editing software with me. So it'll just be me talking, me glancing over my iPad where there are notes. I'll probably make some mistakes that I would normally edit out, but I can't now. But yeah, I got a present today. A present was a new Owl House episode. And what an episode it was. But the present was not just the episode, it was also the fact that I no longer had to avoid spoilers, which was really a pain. So yeah, escaping Expulsion. It opens up with the Blights, and you know, they were only in one scene of season 1, so there were a lot of fan characterizations of them. So that now that we know more about their canon selves, it might seem a little weird. Like, it didn't seem that way for me, but I feel like it might for some people, so I thought I'd bring it up. Alright, you have Alidor. He's the new I'm tired guy. Like, he just looks so tired of dealing with his wife. It almost reminds me of Mr. Tweety from Chicken Run. You guys seen Chicken Run? Where it's like the husband who's like deals with his wife's evil schemes, but like at some point he'll reach his limit. Dahlia, she's a bitch. That's the simplest description you can get. She has this like little gem thing that you can like telepathically communicate with Amity with, and that has a huge number of horrifying implications. Amity is giving this demonstration with this like armored abomination, which I'm gonna call Thanos because it looked like Thanos. And Ellies like, oh, you better do good to, make up for, your lousy performance at school. And I'm just like, A picture of Amity and Willow and Luz and Gus from Grom drops, and Amity's like trying to cover it up, but Dahlia notices, and she's like, might have to do something about this. All right, you see Luz is teaching Ida and Lilith about glyphs, so that clip of them sitting in like school desks was not from episode 4 like I thought. And it's what you'd expect. Lilith is like doing fine, listening to the rules. Ida is trying to experiment, do her own thing, combine glyphs. It's not really working. Ida is like, no, I'm gonna figure out my own thing. And Luz has to leave, and she's like, oh, King's in charge now. And it's like, oh. And then Ida immediately disappears, and King's like, oh man, I have to watch over her. It's Luz's first day back at Hexside after the petrification thing. Gus is taller, his voice is deeper. Apparently, witch puberty is quick. That was a good little explanation for, oh no, the actor has aged. Amity baked Luz a pie. Oh, it was like some pie with like screaming fairies in it, but that's normal in the Boiling Isles. It was a nice pie. Then Amity's parents show up. Well, yeah, they both show up. But it's really Dahlia who's like forcing Principal Bump to expel Luz, and Willow and Gus is like, oh, you've caused nothing but danger for Hexside, and like you see like later in the episode, Principal Bump is like crying because like he didn't want to do this, but like the Blights are like so influential that like Amity, she wants to help, she wants to fight back, but she's too scared of her mother to do it. But that that mind influence thing, and it's like, oh, you Amity, you will be dealing with like double classes to make up for this incompetence or something like that. I mean, later Dahlia offers Luz like a card to talk, and like it's like, yeah, sure, they was just gonna talk. No, it's not that. Anyway, back to Ida. She's like making this like pyramid with like glyphs, and like it doesn't really work. And then she looks out the window and sees like Lilith doing great with the glyphs and like making an ice sculpture of Hootie. And it's good to see that Lilith and Hootie are still best friends. Ida's experiment goes out of hand, and it's like this giant ice shell that like expands, and like she has to ask Lilith for help. Lilith, she does this thing to like melt it by like making the glyphs in like a certain way, and it's like there might only be 4 glyphs, which is why Luz hasn't discovered anymore. But if you combine them in the right way, you can theoretically make any spell. And I'm like, that'll be interesting for future episodes. Luz, she heads over to Blight Manor with like the card, because the card had like the address on it. And it's like, you have to help us with this presentation we're giving tonight because Amity's busy with schoolwork. And, if you do it for us, you can go back to school. A blight never goes back on a promise or something like that. And, said in that like overly sinister way where it's like, something's gonna happen. You see Willow in her home, and like her dads are like, oh no, we're gonna homeschool you from now on. And they're giving her these books. They have one book which just has like Hot Pop's face on it. It's like about amphibians. I'm just like, oh, that's nice. Because, the possibility of an Amphibia Owl House crossover just gets more likely each day. So this is just step one. Amity returns home and she finds a note that like, we found a replacement for you, and she's like, crap. Then she gets Gus and Willow and they head over to the building where they're giving the demonstration. They're like arguing for a while about how to sneak in, and then Ed and M show up and just give them disguises, and they're like, just walk right in. And it's like, it's good to see that as much as Ed and M like pranking Amity, that they care about her more than they care about their parents, because, why would you? Luz has to fight the giant armored abomination, and Dahlia's like, yes, it won't stop until the enemy is eliminated. And it's like, oh, it's gonna kill Luz. And Ellies like, yo, maybe this is like too far. And Dahlia's like, no, it's not. Amity steps in, she saves Luz, she's like, step away from my Luz, and all the shippers out there were just, oh, my heart. Big blushes all around. Amity stands up to her mother, she takes the gem and crushes it. I'm so proud of our precious tomato. She and Luz, they use magic, they beat the abomination. They like pretend to die, or not die, I guess pretend to die to like, I guess so the presentation will work. I'm not really sure how this was planned. I'm not really 100% sure on that. But you see a bunch of sales go through, so I was like, oh, apparently it went well. More explanation on that later. And, you see that Dahlia is really mad because, like, Amity stood up to her, like, she'll be in so much trouble, and Elder's like, listen, chill, Amity's getting stronger, she might be a Coven head one day, we sold a lot, just let it go. And I'm just like, I think he'll eventually come over to the good side. Like, I get the impression just from how tired he is that he's wanted to leave Dahlia for a while and like never really had a good excuse before, but like maybe this killing an innocent child on stage or attempting to kill an innocent child is just like the thing. And I think maybe like later in the season when Amity and Luz get together in like episode 5 or 7, whenever it is, that he'll secretly allow Amity to date Luz. Yeah, the blushes. I think this is when Luz realizes that she has a crush on Amity, but, we'll have the angst because she'll think it's unrequited love because, Luz, her self-esteem is so low thanks to being bullied on Earth that she's just accepted that no one would ever love her like that. So I think episode 5, which is when a lot of people, including me, assume that is when Luz will find out Amity likes her. I think that will be a major theme of that episode, which, that's supposed to be like a Gus episode, and that Luz and Amity stuff is the B plot, but like, are people going to focus on the Gus plot? Not to say anything bad about Gus, I like Gus, but, that's kind of how this fandom works. But yeah. Dahlia, she thinks she'll win in the end, but she'll be defeated by a horde of angry fans, because there's nothing more powerful than that. The Golden Guard shows up. and he's like, oh, Bellos was the one who bought all of those abominations. Like, he doesn't like it when people have a private army, and, saying it all sinister, and, like, Oda is, like, really upset about this, and I'm just thinking, GG. The Emperor's Coven may just be, like, using the Blights just to get to lose, which seems like a legitimate theory. That's pretty much it for the episode itself. I mean, I'm a happy shipper, and I'm very happy that now that Big Blush is all around. There's like one moment when they're like back to back, and like Luz has like a normal blush, and Amity has the full face blush. As for the title acronyms for like the episodes, a lot of people are like Seek the Key, which, considering there's only 2 more episodes of season 1A, I think Seek the Key seems likely. And I was thinking it could be Seek the Key to Luz's Magic or Seek the Key to Luz Naseda, because both of those have the right number of both of those have the right number of letters. See, like, that was the type of thing I would normally edit out. But we won't know. But until next time, thanks for watching.